Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. So it is Friday, and 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 like I said last week, since we've got a tradition, I decided that I would call this GamerGate Friday. So this week, I I bring to you something a little bit different than I've been doing before. Before, I was either covering another person's video or reading a specific article. This time, I thought that I would kind of continue from where we left off last week when I what no, when we found TakeThis.org. This is a company that is getting money from the U.S. government from Homeland Security. I don't know how much, but I know that but to my understanding, it's a significant amount. So, oh, I thought it might be interesting to look at people that the way that I put that the way that I'd put it they're the puppeteers. Here's and let's see what they think about us. Oh, and also for anyone watching this on Twitter /X slash Twix, I am Netcat Media on YouTube, so I would appreciate it if you would come over and subscribe to me to see me play games and other stuff there too. So that would be awesome. Um, but if you don't, I'm just happy to have you here as well. So yay! And as a bonus for anyone who's watching me on YouTube, is able to see the poll that I put up, where I'm asking, what game I should play after I'm done with this. Stellar Blade, continue Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or play some Hi-Fi Rush. Whatever has the most votes, I'll respect because honestly, all three of them sound like a good time. So, since I actually have three people here watching, what looks like one on YouTube and two on Twix, I will start going. Ah, actually, first I'm going to turn this overhead light off. Too bright. There we go. Hey, Disgruntled Jedi, how you doing? Good to see you. So, so for the articles, the first thing that they have here is they're spotting to GamerGate 2. Pretty sure that this is the one that I read last week. You have pulse still breathing. Yeah, honestly, there's nothing better than how you feel after being sick and miserable. When you wake up and you just feel and you feel nice and healthy, you, you don't really you you don't really appreciate that at anywhere near as much as when you've just not been healthy. You know what I mean? Two, 3 days ago, I had no voice and I was throwing up. So, oof. Anyway, I suppose that might be sharing a little bit too much, but yeah. Yes, exactly. I was like, come on. I need you to stay there for me to get better. So up here for take this support community mental wellness. This is the sort of thing that that places like this like to hide behind. They make themselves look like the angels that are that are riding to to your rescue. I mean, just take a look at at their at this little image here where he's got angel wings and he's got the shield, but shield with a sword, in fact. And it's like, and I have to ask, what are they saying that they're going to protect us from? They're coming to protect us from the big bad gamers, most likely. Resources, mental health, expert content, blog posts, FAQ. I find it interesting that they put mental health resources at the top because that seems to me like they're implying that mental health is 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 extremely important here because because games are going to be hurting your mental health. I mean, I could be wrong, but at, but the placement and order of this stuff matters. The stuff is everything. Everything on a website like this is put in place. It's with intention. It's not like a single person who puts something up and just slapdashes the stuff. Like I said, this company is being supported by Homeland Security. If you think that each and everything about this site it isn't put in place, it isn't put in place on purpose, I have a bridge to sell you. Oh, and by the way, if you hear a little bit of music in the background, that's because as I had forgotten last week that when I just am reading stuff, if my headset does not get sound for a half hour, it disconnects because it assumes that I'm not using it, even though I'm talking through it. Yes, they shouldn't have anything to do with it. My understanding of why they supposedly do it, the supposed reason why they do is that they see this as as leading to extremism. It's the Matt Walsh arguments. It's that that this stuff is going to radicalize is people. Now Matt Walsh. Now the thing that it's radicalizing them to is maybe a little bit different from what Matt Walsh wants to claim that they are. But yeah. Now my personal opinion. This is just yeah, mostly get off their butts and do something related to hard work. Hey, I kind of think that I should take a bit of offense to that. I work 80-hour weeks with a sometimes physically demanding job, and I'm a gamer. But I do get what you're saying that a lot of gamers are not really physically doing a lot. Now, I'm going to get minorly political here. This is like little tinfoil hat stuff, but Uh, I do think that at least part of this is that there's a decent amount of people who somewhat blame GamerGate for getting Trump elected originally, and I think that the government may actually buy into that and maybe and maybe trying to mobilize is Homeland Security to keep that faction away. I don't know. That is a bit tinfoil hat, but I mean, come on. Why the hell is Homeland Security funding anything to do with gaming? Eh. It all comes out to it all comes out to look like propaganda to me. So upcoming events. It's work and chill body doubling stream. What what is body doubling? Take this plays is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. Yes, the government misunderstand a situation do the least logical thing possible as a response. What? Yeah, I know. I'm going to need to look into how much money this company is getting because uh, I mean I have a feeling I may be disgusted if I find out. You know what I mean? Yeah, to take this plays Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. They have a stream team? Really? Check out this just chatting stream from 3 days ago. Okay. So Homeland Security is funding a Twitch channel. Yeah, it's funding a Twitch channel. I mean, it's not only a Twitch channel, but uh-huh. Okay then. Okay. That's not as to be completely honest, that is not as bad as as I was thinking. I appreciate the you helping with this. I see her. Do. Oh, it's on GameDeveloper.com, the same site that I was looking at last week. And like I was saying, it's an anti-extremism grant from DHS. So yeah, mm, th- so I'm just going to quickly read through this. It- mm, mm, like I said earlier, I don't really have a specific it, plan on this stream. Mostly I was just wanting to explore. Take this if you know what I'm saying. If you're just being difficult, would if you're just being difficult would be mean. So here I am to Google crap. No, I appreciate it. Hmm. And also, I mean, I kind of want to, even if I'm wrong, actually, especially if I'm wrong on something, I want to be called out on it. I am not like the anti gamer people who want to just have their own narrative run, no matter what. No matter what, I want to be right. I don't want to be one of those people that is manipulating things to look right. I want to be right, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and take this is gets 700K anti-extremism grant from DHS, and and with what I read from Game Developer last week, I'm pretty sure that they probably see this as a good thing. The recent grant issued by DHS will allow researchers to develop resources to monitor extremist groups, already lol, and then create workshops to prevent those groups from spreading. Okay, what and when was this? Okay, this was 2 years ago. I wonder if they've done anything since then. As spotted by Vice, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security issued a $700,000 grant to researchers of terrorism and security to investigate video games being used to radicalize players. Yep. All of my group might try to take over Washington. And, and those of us who our hot Stellar Blade Eve, and we're playing dress up with her. We might try to take over Washington as well. Founded in 2013, take this as a nonprofit organization. And one thing that I would mention, and I'm pretty sure that you already know that you know this, Discworld Jedi. Just because an organization is nonprofit doesn't mean that the people that run it don't make bank. It just means that they get a salary, which could be really high, and then any profits need to be turned back over into the company itself. So, there isn't a profit sharing thing so much, but nonprofits can have a lot of money. This dumb shit might make me radicalized, not the games. I know, right? I mean, that's actually kind of my viewpoint on this. Is I find in the idea of Homeland Security sticking their noses into this to be much more offensive and much more, as you say, radicalizing than anything that I see in the games. I gotta say, she is the best example of a dangerous character, not just the butt of a joke. Hey, she also has a ponytail. A few days ago, they unveiled their interest in researching online extremism at the Game UX Summit. Mm, And that's the user experience, by the way. UI would be user interface, UX is user experience. At least that's my understanding. We didn't really talk about UX when I was getting my master's in computer science, but whatever. Over the past decade, video games have increasingly become focal points of social activity and identity creation for adolescents and young adults, reads the grant on the DHS website. Correspondingly, extremists have used video games and targeted video game communities for activities ranging from propaganda creation to terrorist mobilization and training. What? Terrorist mobilization and training. What the hell are they talking about? Now, propaganda, they are not wrong on that. The thing is that what we would disagree with is what propaganda may be being put into those games. You you guys are the ones who are putting propaganda in. Hmm. Now, I've never played Medal of Honor. A spokesperson for Take This explained to game developer that the grant will support the organization's core mission: rising occurrences of hate, harassment, and extremist radicalization within these spaces have personal and societal repercussions on safety and well-being, including mental health, said research director Dr. Rachel Coward. I remember you. The grant will be funding research into better exploring the scope and breadth of this issue and developing industry specific solutions to mitigating them. That is a whole bunch of word salad. Ah, okay. Yeah, they had you play as a jihadist. So, oh, the idea that you're playing a character who is a jihadist is going to be training and radicalizing people for terrorism. Yeah, because we can only ever play the good guys. There's no possibility of having any nuance in games. Uh-huh. Now, I'm not making fun of you on that, Loki. I'm just saying you're probably right that that's one of the things that's being referred to, and I'm laughing at that. Yeah, that they probably think that we're the next KKK or Proud Boys or whatever. Mm. By the way, I'm not even saying that the Proud Boys are that bad. I don't know enough about them to know. I just know that the media likes to use them as a boogeyman. So, yeah, most are too lazy to get off their butts. Yep. And those of us like me who's actually busy and shit, I can't be arsed to get off my butt and go try to take over Washington. I got other shit to do. When I'm not working, I want to play a game. The time that it would take me to go take over Washington and then have to run the country would be time I can't play a game. So, come on. Yep. There's so many games that we play is that we basically have that we die and respawn, die and respawn, die and respawn. We're almost taught that, yeah, you get involved in this stuff, you're gonna die. The more we're talking about this, the more ludicrous this looks. Talking to Ars Technica, CTEC's deputy director Alex Newhouse said research would begin with online games that essentially act like social platforms, like such as Roblox or Destiny. I've never played either one of them, but uh, basically what they're saying here is that Roblox or Destiny is acting like, say, Twatter. It is very, very clear on conversations with the video game industry that they are not fully cognizant of the budding problem they have on their hands. People talking to each other is a budding problem that they have on their hands. this this is actually making me laugh a lot. I mean, it's a little terrifying that they're putting money into this, but still. The lack of awareness and research about extremism in games communities is what drew Coward. Oh, and by the way, when I talk about the political aspect of some of this stuff, I would like to mention that the Republicans are just as bad as Democrats in claiming that gaming is bad for you. No, I mean, especially the like at the Senate level, if you scratch almost any of the Republican politicians, you'll find an anti-gamer there as well. I don't know if you agree or not, but that's what I've noticed in the past. I told you, trash leads to one logical conclusion: revolution. Law of Destiny. Bungie is all in on ESGDI. It would never happen there, and I used to play a lot of Destiny. Okay, I would like to make a comment on that. What they're saying is that even if they're all in on the ESG DEI, they're talking about what other players are saying in their system. Unless you're saying that they've actually set up the moderation tools to actually that actually crack down on that stuff with reports and stuff like that. It wouldn't matter if they're ESG if they're ESG or not, because it's not really Destiny that they're talking about. Republicans, Democrats, both too old to understand gaming and what it does. 100%, this girl Jedi, 100%. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. The irony would be if Homeland Security is actually more worried about ESG, DEI, and the media and us are just taking this completely the wrong way. You see, I I don't think we're taking it the wrong way because they're the ones that are calling it an anti extremism grant. So I I mean maybe they're not talking about it for revolution, but yeah, it is amusing. So yeah. Mm, okay, so far I've got 2 votes for me playing Stellar Blade after this. Okay, that's cool so far. The lack of awareness and research about extremism in games communities is what drew Coward. For anyone wondering who didn't watch me last week, I'm not mispronouncing her name by accident. I decided last week to call her Coward because she was so scared of all of the death threats and all of the backlash that she's getting. Meh, Coward. I get death threats too. As she explained to Vice, she shifted focus to extremism once she realized is that it was an area that was very under researched. And by under researched, I mean there was literally none because it didn't matter. Lack of awareness. Yep. There's a lack of awareness about extremism in games because it isn't. I mean, that as a general rule. I mean, I'm sure we could go to Steam and find some really small indie things are that has some extremism in it. I'm certain those exist. I've seen some really weird shit on Steam, but unless you're showing me a game that has a large player base, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh you out of it. Oh, we're getting to white nationalists. Vampire Survivor has taught me how to overthrow the government. Oh dear lord. So, oh, games have always had an extremist problem. Always. White nationalists have been in games has been in the game space for years, and both they and other extremists have thrived online as a result. Okay, one sec. White nationalists, what are you linking to here? Oh my god, they're linking to another article. Oh dear lord. As white nationalism goes, how are Jewish game developers responding? There's so much stuff to cover. And mind you, that this looks like it's 2017. God damn it. Nationalists have been in game space for years, including every other group on the planet. That's literally what I was about to say. It's like games are universal. It's sources I made it the fuck up. Yeah, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance gets used a lot for that. Oh, and by the way, that actually is one of the sources that Matt Walsh has. 63% of all statistics are made up on the spot. No, you are wrong, sir. It is 63.5%. So back to the extremist problem. But I think I'm going to keep that tab open so that I've so I can save it to cover later. Sorry, my research was like I should go flog myself. In a 2020 report, DHS deemed white supremacy as the most persistent and lethal threat in the United States. Yeah, I call bullshit on that too. But I'm not really here to argue politics right now. Mm. Uh, and by the way, that's part of the point of this stream. That what the fuck are politics doing in Gamergate in games? Is that and no, I'm not saying the politics shouldn't be in games. What the hell is politics? What the hell is politics doing in the gaming space? It does not have any business here. And that's what this money is going towards. This money is going towards putting politics in gaming. We're from the government. We're here to help. Yes. Hey, Prismatics, how you doing? I am just here looking in the we are just here looking at where our money not your money because you're not in the United States, but where the United States money is going to inject politics into the gaming space. Attempting to eliminate white supremacist ideology from games will take more than $700,000. Frankly, a substantial overhaul of the industry from top to bottom. And that is what they've been working towards. When people ask, what's Gamergate? Gamergate is the Gamergate 2.0 is the reaction to these fucks trying to do an overhaul of the industry. That is what Gamergate 2.0 is really about. People talk about it. People like to point at FBI Sweet Baby Inc., Black Girl Gamers, they are just one of the tools that are being used to do this. It is not about Sweet Baby Inc. It is not about Black Girl Gamers. It is not about Melanated Gamers. It is about this. This is what Gamergate 2.0 is about. DHS, a foreign combatant. People purposely confuse political themes in games like Call of Duty or BioShock to play the all games are political card. 100%. It's like when people talk about Star Wars and say we don't want the politics getting in Star Wars. They're not talking about the political maneuvering that comes in the Phantom Menace, Attacks of Clones, Return of the Jedi. They're not talking about that. They're talking about how having real world politics affecting decisions in Star Wars, in the games, in whatever. And 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 hi, Star Wars Grad, how you doing? And thank you. I like to think I'm based, but I think a lot of people like to think that they're based. The problem with that overhaul is that it's going to go the other way. You can't make people buy AAA games when indie games are cheaper, more fun, and less preachy. Yep. And also, as a general rule, people don't like being told what to do, and 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 whereas I was just bitching about the SBI thing, that is what kicked this stuff off. When people actually noticed that that Sweet Baby Inc. Was getting involved in telling the companies what to do, in essence telling us what we should do or what to buy, that causes backlash because a lot of us, I'm going to say that a lot of gamers are a little do have a little bit of an opposition streak in them. So yeah, DHS, we're going to tell these radical rebels what to do. They'll clearly listen to us. Yes, 100%. Yes. So keep on going. But calling real attention to the problem is what the industry has needed for some time and can lead to even more eyes on the subject. And again, and this is kind of where the ESG slash DEI stuff comes in because as because a lot of the developers originally would have but were on our side because they were gamers that made games. But then as they bring in the DEI requirements, they start hiring for things besides skill or being able to produce. And they start bringing people in that might that might have views that are more in line with what they want. Because for them to overhaul the industry, they need to infiltrate the industry, and that is what they've been trying to do. And in some of the AAA studios, they've been succeeding in doing so. So this is a large amount of what's going on. Newhouse's hope is that his group's research will result in developers who he said had to be scared into sharing player data for research purposes, is taking better measures against extremism. And this goes along with what with what that Sweet Baby Inc. President was saying at at a particular conference that has gone viral about saying that and if your managers don't want to you don't want to hire don't want to do DEI or hire Sweet Baby Inc. Go talk to marketing and scare them into hiring us. The success that success is crashing the AAA studios. However, look at Rocksteady. Yes, this is exactly my point. Actually, Rocksteady, who made who made the Arkham games and they were quickly acclaimed. I'd have to look into it to be sure. So this is just speculation, but I'm betting that the money that they took to to make to make Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, probably he had strings attached to it with DEI slash ESG money, which which included him restructuring and hiring different people and possibly firing other people. So the people that actually made the Arkham games might not have been on that project. So it's like the ship of Theseus. Is, is it still the ship of Theseus if all the planks have been changed? I want gamers, especially big ones like Roblox Corp and Microsoft, to have dedicated counter extremism in games teams. In these days, we need to push we need to push to be that sophisticated on the games industry side as well. Update 928. The story has been updated with comments and with comments from Dr. Rachel Coward of Take This. Yeah, hard to tell. The ship is on the bottom of the ocean currently. Let me get scuba gear. I okay. I was about to say that it's going down, but I was thinking about that in terms of I was thinking about that in terms of Triple A's in general. But yeah, Rocksteady is on the bottom of the ocean right now. So yeah, that was a lovely article by Justin Carter, contributing editor of GameDeveloper.com, all about where the $700,000 is that and that was granted a couple years ago went to and take this. Oh my god. So sh- shall I read another one of these? You can tell the industry is scared. They're doing the same thing the comic industry did years ago. The industry is failing. It's the biggot's fault. We need to save comics. Yes, they are doing the exact same thing. Never mind that these quote unquote bigots you're attacking are probably the people that are that are your biggest is clients. Holy crap! I've got 6 people watching on YouTube. Thank you everybody for being here. And it says I've got 11 people watching on X. Nice. And for everyone watching on X, I, I'm happy that they're on X watching. That I mean, that's why I decided to stream to X as well. But if you are interested in watching me game and stuff, I can't really stream my PlayStation games to X because I don't have a capture card, so I have to do that through YouTube. So if you're interested in watching me do other stuff, please come please come come sub to me on Netcat Media. Netcat one word, media second word. Star Wars Scrad. Great stream, Netcat. I do enjoy listening to people that know what they are talking about. Sadly, I have to leave. Goodbye for now. Thank you for stopping by. And I do actually the things that I state for certain, I do tend to know about what I'm talking about. When what I don't actually know, I try not to say it for sure. Subscribe, or DHS won't notify you as a gamer extremist. And by the way, the idea that I would be flagged as an extremist is pretty friggin' hilarious. Because at least in my own mind, I consider myself a centrist. So, which basically means that whoever's in power gets pissed off by me, and I get pissed off by whoever's in power. You know what I mean? Centrism is the new extremist. Unfortunately, there's some truth in that. What's happening in AAA games is exactly what happened in comics in Hollywood, except it feels like it's going at 10 times the speed. Yes, and that's because gamers actually have a lot easier ways to actually combat this stuff with. with say Hollywood, they put out a movie, and that movie lasts for about 2 hours, and then you need to be on to the next one. And comics, they put out a comic book. It it's not going to last them that long to read it, and then they have to go on to the next one. And, with a game, we get a game, and typically, in a lot of these games that we get, triple A, double A, or indie, a lot of them last for hours upon hours upon hours. So, show me a gamer who does not have a backlog of games to play, and I'll show you someone that isn't actually a gamer. So yeah, and, and part of the point that I'm making there is that it's a lot easier for us to close our wallets than it is for us to close our wallets to the triple A's too. I don't like to say triple A specifically. I like calling it the anti gamer infected. That's how I prefer to look at it, because as because not all triple A's are going to be infected. They're more likely to be, but not necessarily. So I don't want to paint with that big of a brush. But it's really not hard for us to close our wallets to them and say fuck you. No, you don't get our money. and it and whereas with Hollywood people can do that too, but when they do that, they are kind of depriving themselves of of something. Whereas when we close our wallets and say fuck you, we we still have plenty to do. Plus, there's huge. Yes, exactly. Huge list of great free games you can download and play and get a good experience. Yeah, because there are some people because there are some people who develop games who are honestly doing it because they love it, and in a lot of ways their payment is knowing that people are enjoying their game. And as far as this comment about about the indie sector gaming moving 10 times faster than Hollywood and comics, I'd say that that's at least in part because as the indie sector of gaming has pretty much always been there. There what they didn't need to make a comics gate it to have the indie scene to fight against the big companies. Mom and pop have been making mom and pop Joe and Bob, Billy, Bob and Joe have been making games in their kitchen, in their living room, for as long as gaming has been around. So, so the triple A's and all that have been having to deal with little guys for the entirety of the existence of GamerGate. Not GamerGate, but I mean the entirety of the existence of gaming. So yeah, I think that actually my main goal for this stream was kind of to discuss what Take Two has been doing, not Take Two, me and what Take This has been doing, and I think that actually thanks to with the googling of Disgruntled Jedi while I was talking about them getting the money, I think that we found a really good article to actually go through that and use that as a vehicle to discuss about about what the government is doing with with the gaming space. So I think that was a pretty good stream. Thank you very much, Disgruntled Jedi. Really appreciate the help you gave. That was useful. Dang it. I was just here to give you a hard time. Foiled again. Yeah, typically when you drop by, you end up being helpful. I always appreciate it when you come by. So, um, for my poll, I have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at 50% and Stellar Blade for 50%. So, unless somebody votes for one or the other before I end the stream, And if unless somebody votes for one or the other before the end of stream, I think I'm going to choose Stellar Blade, and then I'll probably transition over to Final Fantasy VII after that. Hey, cool. Uh, if you are, make sure I know. I'll make sure to be in the chat, and more than happy to help support you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this stuff too. In more than just it, it, in more than just as text form. So Stellar Blade counts for two for reasons. And thanks for being here, Loki. And anytime and actually, I'm gonna put this out to the two of you, and I put out to another friend as well. I've been thinking about trying to put together a stream where instead of it's just being me covering stuff like this, getting some getting some gamers together and having us just discuss GamerGate 2.0 and whatever else comes of and wherever else it goes. As anybody who watches me stream knows by now, I kind of go all over the place, and that's partially because I have ADD, and partially because I just like seeing where things take me. You would never associate with graphic gamers like me. Oh, and but yeah, I think that's going to be the end of be the end of the show. I hope that I've been both entertaining and informative, and I I also kind of hope that I've given a different perspective on this than a lot of other people who have been and talking about Gamergate 2.0. That's not to disparage anybody else who's been covering it, because it's really important to see the direct effects of all of this stuff. But I I really think that it's also that's important not to miss is the people playing puppet master behind the scene. And that's what I think that that group like TakeThis.org is doing, and they're being puppeteered by Homeland Security, but it's a bit harder to dig back that far. Direct effects. AAA games losing money, indie games thriving. Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to end the stream. Task failed successfully, THS. Yep.